It's the Binge Bum Podcast. Whoa, it's time to talk about our favorite shows from all the streaming networks all across the globe, from Netflix to Hulu to Disney Plus and HBO. Get ready for fun and lots of show reviews. It's Binge Bum coming to you.
Hey everybody, it's Friday, February 19th. We are your host of the most, your Q crew. Dale and Scott.
I'm Scott.
I'm Dale. How are you?
I'm doing really well. I'm glad to be back in the studio.
Oh my goodness. Well, can we talk about this weather? Jesus.
I mean, we mentioned it last week how cold and wet it was for everybody and snowy, and
I know.
It just continues.
And all of our friends in Texas.
Yeah. We're getting more, instead of snow, we're getting mostly sleet today, and our entire backyard is nothing but mud.
Mud and ice.
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
I'm over it.
Oh, well, let's move along.
Yeah.
Let's get with the news. I like this. Netflix announced a new live-action series called Wednesday. It's in the works. It centers on Wednesday from the Addams Family.
I like this.
I think this is the first thing that came to my mind were those live-action specials that were on like the networks. Mm-hmm. Remember, I'm trying to even think of one. You know, where they have like especially over the holidays, they have them. Like the Grinch was a live-action like special, kind of like that.
Okay.
That's kind of what I feel what this is.
Is this a special? This is a series.
This is a series, though.
Right, and it's going to follow Wednesday, the character, the little girl character.
Exactly. However, they've dubbed it as a coming-of-age comedy that will show Wednesday from a child to adult. So I don't know if, like, the first two, if she's going to be a child and she's just going to become an adult, or if she will progress if the series should be
or
renewed.
maybe it'll jump back and forth like they're doing with this new Young Rock about Dwayne Johnson on
That's right
on NBC.
Yeah,
where it jumps back and forth between him being a little kid, being a young adult, and being a 20-something. So maybe it'll jump around in time.
So this was just announced, so it's all still in the works. There's no release date yet, but I'm pretty excited to see how they're going to do the live action, especially with the series, because we've always seen them as like one-offs, as a special or, you know, an hour-long kind of like featurette sort of thing. But this is going to be an actual series.
Cool. No, I mean, they've done a lot with the Addams Family. You know, we had the two movies, Addams Family Values and Addams Family whatever, with Angelica Houston, and those did really well. And then just a couple years ago, we had the animated version that was kind of popular.
That's right.
So
that one just came out like last year, I think.
Yeah, it was very recent.
Most recent.
So now we're back in that world. So let's find out what they do with it.
Nice.
All right, up next, let's talk about For All Mankind. We know that this series, Season 2, is dropping today. We talked about that last week. We're going to talk a little bit more in another section of our show today. But Disney has released this really cool...
Apple.
No, Apple II. That's right, Apple IIe. Apple IIe was a great computer.
Yeah.
Apple TV Plus. They have released a new app that lets you kind of examine other things about the show that you might not see while you're watching the series.
Yeah.
They're calling it an AR experience. What does that stand for?
Augmented reality.
Okay, so you hold it up and you can look at your room, but it adds things to your room that might have been in this world where they're living.
Yeah.
So you're looking at Danny Stevens' stuff. He's one of the characters on the show. So one of the things is an Apple II computer. That's why I said Apple II earlier. So you get to actually read messages between him and his friend Kelly on the computer.
Right.
There's a newspaper in the room. You might see it on your coffee table in your actual living room.
Exactly.
There's an answering machine. You can listen to messages that came into Danny's answering machine.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool. It takes you into another level of actually experiencing the show and getting some behind-the-scenes stuff.
Yeah, and so this whole experience takes place in the time frame between 1979 and 1983.
So between the two
seasons. Exactly. So, and that's kind of cool. I'm digging it. And you have to have, you know, an iPhone.
Yep.
It'd be available on the App Store. It already is available.
Is it free?
It is free.
Cool.
The only thing that you have to remember is that most people will be able to use the app and have fun. There is one section of the app where you have to have the LiDAR in your phone, which are only available in the brand new, most recent phones.
Oh, okay.
the iPhone 12 like Pro Max and the
Right.
Pros and the most recent iPad Pro.
Okay, so if you don't have the newest stuff, this is not going to work for you?
No, it will. But there's one piece, and it involves a projector,
Okay.
and you need the LiDAR camera for that part to work. But everything
Okay.
else will work because we've had AR apps for quite a while, so everything
Yeah.
else will work except for that one particular part, which is a new kind of software that does pretty amazing things.
I love stuff like this. You know, I was reading an article the other day about the Kardashians. I know. Don't sue me. Don't send threatening letters. I am a fan though, and I like what they built. Anyway, it was basically about that, how they've built this world for themselves and from scratch. And as part of the article, you could press a button and a bust of Kim Kardashian would show up, and you hold your phone up and you could actually place it somewhere in your house. So you're like looking at your kitchen counter and you can put the bust right there and it looks like it's really there, and then you can take a picture. It's so very bizarre things like that. Tie-ins.
That stuff I think is just incredibly cool. And I would have never, had never crossed my mind that this was something that you would do.
Yeah.
And so just think of all the other things that they could do with what's in the future that's going to be.
All kinds of
There's
shows.
just all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, let's see what young Sheldon's doing on his summer vacation. Let's see what, Wanda and WandaVision or Vision are doing when we're not seeing them on Disney Plus.
Like what if you had an app where if it was and we'll talk more about this, I won't get into it, but just kind of something like when an episode airs and you have a week and they kind of post things about what's going, little extras and stuff to keep people constantly involved, to keep eyes on your show.
Well, this reminded me of book. I pulled this off on my bookshelf when you sent me today's script. This is a book. It's called God Hates Us All, a novel by Hank Moody. Hank Moody's not a real person.
Right.
Hank Moody is a character that David Duchovny played on Californication, and this was the book that he wrote in the show. So they actually wrote a book and put it out as the real book. But on the back, you see the characters from the TV show.
Yeah, that's
Isn't that
cool.
fun? I haven't actually read this yet. I just thought it was really fun to have in my library because I love Californication.
Right, and then going with that whole kind of premise, what if they made that movie that was in Home Alone, that was made for Home Alone?
Right, let's actually see the whole movie.
Let's see the whole movie.
I know.
It's
That would
called
be so
something.
great.
I don't remember the name. But
Thanks for doing that to me, because now
was-
that'll bother me for the rest of the show.
But I think that movie was in
Dirty Angels or Angels with Dirty Souls or something like that.
that.
And they used it in both the first and the second movie.
exactly. Yeah. So I think they should make that movie.
I like that.
That's
All
a
right,
cool idea.
let's move on. We're moving all the way back to the golden age of MTV, when MTV actually used to show.
It was fun.
They showed mostly videos, but they started about 30 years ago showing TV shows. And one of them was The Real World.
Yes.
It was a big thing for me. And I cannot believe them sitting here 30 years later and we're going to get to watch this. So they have just announced that there's a new series called The Real World Homecoming.
Mm-hmm.
They're putting out the first one with the entire cast of the first season, which took place in New York.
Right.
It was the first time they ever tried this. That was back in 1992, y'all.
Right.
So I guess 29 years ago.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. So they've brought them all back. It's a multi-episode series, but they have not released how many episodes they're going to be.
They didn't say. They just said it was going to be a docu-series.
But it's dropping on March 4th on Paramount Plus. The first installment will feature the cast back in the exact same New York City loft where the original show was filmed, which is kind of cool. I'm very excited about this. So they're going to revisit all the shocking moments and their first. I mean, they were the first ones to do anything.
They were the very first ones. Do you
first
remember
reality show, basically?
Yeah. Well, it's The Real World, and I can't remember their names, the creators of them, but they are credited with creating the reality series as we know it.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Nothing like this really existed at the time prior to Real
And they
World.
went on to do dozens and dozens of other types of shows, and obviously a million seasons of Real World.
And do you want to know a fun fact that I know from the very first season, the New York season of The Real World?
I can't believe you're going to tell me something I don't already know, but go ahead.
It was the first and last season where the home that they lived in had a television. every home since then did not have a television.
Oh, because they didn't want the characters sitting around watching, the cast members sitting around watching TV.
The first seasons had a lot of people just sitting around and watching TV.
Right, and that was a big mistake.
Big mistake.
Big mistake.
So that was the last season, the first and last season to have a television in the loft.
That makes a lot of sense.
Right.
Well, I have a real world story too. Should I tell it?
Oh God, I've heard it so many times, but these people don't know.
I'll just tell it once.
Yeah.
So I was in college when Real World came out in 1992. I was a junior, and I thought it would be really super cool to try out for season 2. I did so. I auditioned, and I made it all the way up to the top 10. They picked 7 people to be in the house.
Right.
That was Los Angeles was season 2.
Ooh.
All the way up to top 10. I found out the day after Christmas on December 26th that I did not make it, obviously.
It was pretty cool to be that damn close.
It was really, really cool. Yeah. And, I had lots of interviews, videos, and
Do you still have your audition tape?
No, because it probably was on VHS. Yeah.
You probably had to mail it in.
I probably did have to mail it in. Isn't that crazy? So then again, and this is how I'm a 2-time loser, Dale.
Yeah.
I tried out for season 4 the year after I graduated from college, and I was in the finals for that too. I was called back 3 times. I forget even what city that was, but
you weren't real enough.
I was not real enough.
People stop being polite and start getting real. Welcome to the real world.
Crazy.
I know, it's so funny.
Anyway, I was just going to mention the producers of this new Homecoming series are looking now to bring back the cast of The Real World Hawaii for their second run. So we'll see if that comes
I assume
together.
if this goes well, they're gonna run it through. What was your favorite season? I have one.
Well, New York was my favorite because it was the original.
Yeah.
But I also like DC.
New Orleans was by far the best.
New Orleans had some cute people in it. That was a good season.
That was a really good season.
I would have to see a list and pictures to help me jog my memory of all these different seasons.
Right.
I certainly didn't watch them all. I gave up after a while.
Yeah, I tell you what. I mean, not only were they kind of dubbed the creator of the reality series, this also touched on some things that you didn't see in TV at the time.
Oh yeah,
like gay and lesbian people you didn't see on TV. They had the first gay kiss on television. They spoke a lot about HIV/AIDS because one of their
Pedro died from San Francisco. Yeah, no, it was huge. It was a groundbreaking series. And then
I love this series.
But then it went off the rails and it got stupid.
It kind of got crazy.
It got really stupid.
Yeah.
And then
we were in DC when the DC one
happened. And they were, literally just a couple blocks from
weren't far.
My house.
Yeah.
We used to walk by that house all the time.
I only ever saw the camera crew out once while I was driving somewhere, but that was pretty much it. I would make a habit of driving down S Street on purpose, even though it was out of the way to go home. And you could kind of look in the window sometime and see stuff going on.
See all the lights.
But I only ever saw them out once on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. How about some more reality? Talk about this next one.
Oh, God. Reality shows. Andy Cohen has a new... No, is this 2 series for Peacock?
2 separate ones, yeah.
2 separate series coming to Peacock. The first one we're going to talk about is X-rated. This one could be a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah.
The format of X-rated is people sending these quote-unquote exit surveys to their former partners or lovers,
right,
and then subjecting them to the very brutal and honest answers that these people give them. The survey will rate them on personality, sexual prowess, and relationship skills.
It sounds like a nightmare.
It just
really
sounds just so crazy. But people eat that shit up.
People love stuff like that. That's why people watch stupid shit like Doctor, what's his name? Phil. Yeah.
But this is what cracks me up. And this is what the showrunner has said, is that the new series claims that it's aimed at empowering singles with insight on how they can improve their romantic experiences. Bullshit.
Yeah. Every relationship is different.
It's about the shocking answers and how they're going to react. It's not going to be some uplifting experience from this thing. And
nobody learns anything.
No.
Everybody makes the same mistakes over and over again. The only one I've learned is better communication. Just say exactly what you feel. It will always get... right. Always do you better. But I think don't hold stuff back.
I think it's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah. Also, separately, Peacock has confirmed that Cohen is going to be producing a new season of The Real Housewives of Miami. Now, I know you guys, just like Kardashians, I am also a fan of the Housewives series on Bravo, which of course Andy Cohen executive produces, and he also hosts their reunion specials after each season. He's been doing that for years. I think he has a lot to say about casting too. Anyway, so he has his hands now. He's going to bring back Miami. Miami was on from 2011 to 2013. They canceled it because of low ratings. So I don't know why you bring back a series that didn't do well. But the thing is, they're recasting. So I doubt any original folks are even coming back.
Right.
It's all new. And a little tidbit, apparently everyone and their mother is auditioning for this show because auditions are happening right now. So literally every woman who's had 8 plastic surgeries, who lives in Miami or one of the surrounding communities, is trying out for this friggin' show. Because they've seen what happens to the lives of these people after they're on this show.
Right. They blow up.
People make a lot of money. Yeah. So I would do it too. Where's the male version of this? Because I want to be on that.
The Real Husbands of
nobody's going to do one where we live. I'll tell you that.
No, that's for sure.
Although they really surprised me when they did Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I mean, Salt Lake City, really? But it's working. It's popular, and it was renewed.
Is that like their most recent one?
That's the most recent one, yeah.
Is it just their first season? Or
they've had one season.
It just started.
It was mostly Park City, but yeah, it's also Salt Lake City.
Oh, well, there you go.
I know. Park City is so cool. Why don't they do Aspen? Remember that Aspen series that we really liked?
We keep going back to that, and we cannot remember the name. I don't know what network is on.
I'm going to look it up.
It was only one season.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun to watch. It was
very fun.
It was very housewives-ish.
It was just like Housewives.
It was just like it.
But it was called Aspen Extreme or something like that.
But the houses... And
there's a lot of money.
It was amazing.
In Aspen.
Yes, it was an amazing show. You just wanted it was house porn. Is basically what it was.
I just don't understand why they don't go like, where's the Real Housewives of Palm Beach? You know, where are these ritzy areas? What's another one? I guess I don't know. We can do a whole show on that. The only reason we're talking about this is because these 2 new shows that Andy Cohen's put together is going to be on Peacock, and that's a streaming service. So that's going to be new for him.
And that's good. Peacock needs some help, so hopefully this will work.
Yeah.
All right, we got some pretty cool new show announcements this week. If you've had to have been living under a rock, I know we've all been snowed in, but HBO had released the Zack Snyders Justice League trailer.
Yeah.
It is pretty damn cool.
This is kind of a cross between a film and a series because they're breaking up this 4-hour production, basically a movie, into 4 one-hour blocks.
Correct.
So that's kind of a series to me.
Yeah, So just the backstory is that if you're fans of Justice League, we know that this film came out in 2017. Zack Snyder was the director. However, he stepped down after the death of his daughter. Right. So it was given to someone else. Mm-hmm. He was not very happy with the final release of the film. So he's made his own.
Yeah.
So this version is 4 hours long. Like we said, it's going to be cut into 4 one-hour parts. And he has said with some very, very strong language that it will not definitely include any footage from the original film.
So I find this hard to believe. Did he go back and find enough footage to put together a 4-hour series? Or did he record new stuff?
I think there's a lot of new stuff.
They recorded new stuff.
And then there's also things that I guess were cut and not in the final. And
they used pieces of that.
That's kind of like been recolored and things like that.
Okay, this is what I don't understand, Dale. Where did this money come from? Because listen to all the people that are in this movie.
I know.
I mean, Henry Cavill is back as Superman. You've got Ben Affleck as Bruce Wayne. You've got Gal Gadot as Diana Prince, a.k.a. Wonder Woman. You've got Jason Momoa coming back as Aquaman. You've got Cyborg, Ray Fisher. You've got Ezra Miller coming back as the Flash. A whole handful of bad guys.
Right.
Plus Jared Leto.
Yes.
As the Joker.
And he looks amazing.
He looks
really, really cool.
I mean, this is really cool, and I don't even like superhero movies.
Exactly. I definitely want to watch this. And what I implore everyone who's listening to do, and I did this, and I will put this in the show notes if you want me to.
Okay.
go to YouTube, find the original 2017 trailer for Justice League, watch it.
And then compare it to this.
And then watch this one.
Yeah.
And look at what you're getting.
Right.
It's
pretty cool.
The differences are just crazy. Crazy.
The thing I don't understand is it's completely like, remember my criticism of Wonder Woman 1984 was that it was just so over the top. This looks even more over the top.
Yeah, but
that's
this
what
fits.
people want.
But this fits, though.
Yeah.
I mean, you got superheroes. I mean,
right.
I don't know. I don't know what you want. I just didn't like Wonder Woman because I just don't like Wonder Woman.
There's another superhero world that I would like to talk about. You talk about it. I mean, I'm excited about this. I'm excited about this one, the next one.
Well, anyway, let me tell you.
Are you going back? Am I going too fast?
Well, because March 18th is when you'll be able to stream the Zack Snyder cut.
All 4 or one at a time?
That was unclear. I imagine it will be all of them because it's made as a film, but they broke it up to give you a break, I guess, so you can.
Well, it's hard to sit through a 4-hour movie.
Yeah. So I think we'll get all 4 on the 18th of March. Keeping up with the superhero films, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, a new Disney Plus series, will premiere March 19th.
Excited about this.
This is actually kind of cool. It's Falcon and the Winter Soldier, a mismatched duo who team up for a global adventure that will test their survivor skills as well as their patience with each other.
Now, both of these characters have shown up in lots of Captain America movies, so they've been around for a while.
Yes.
Anthony Mackie. He plays the Falcon. You might know him from The Hurt Locker. He was nominated for tons of awards for Hurt Locker. And then, I like this one, Sebastian Stan, he plays the Winter Soldier. I remember him from Gossip Girl a million years ago.
Oh. But see, I went on IMDb. I didn't go down that far.
And then another chick who I really, really like, Emily Van Camp is in this, guys. You guys might know her from the lead in ABC's Revenge, which was on about 10 years ago on Sunday nights, I think.
Yeah.
She's been in a bunch of the Captain America movies too as Sharon Carter, aka Agent 13. This looks really good. It kind of almost looks like a buddy picture instead of a superhero movie.
You know what I took out of the trailer when I watched this is that this is like a superhero version of like Bad Boys or like 21 Jump Street, where it's the two partners or
Beverly Hills Cop.
Yes, all those kinds of things where, they're working together, they have to, and it's only them two that can fix the problem.
Yeah.
But there's a comedy of errors along the way.
Rivalries between the two of them, and maybe they both like Emily's character. I don't know.
Right.
But I'm excited.
It's going to be fun.
I will watch this.
And this is a series, so this is not a film, so we're going to get more of this. Yeah. And this debuts March 19th. And I'm almost for certain, because it's Disney Plus, you're going to get 1 episode a week.
1 episode a week.
Yeah.
That's fine with me.
That's fine. I actually like it. It gives you something to look forward to.
Yeah, we have so much to watch. It's nice to kind of piece it out.
And most are going in this direction. Netflix hasn't done so much, but I imagine eventually they're going to, because you have a big show like that, and people are just going to sign up for the free trial or just pay 1 fee and watch it and be done with it.
Yeah.
So they're going to go with this 1 episode a week.
I'm excited. March 19th on Disney Plus, just a couple days before we go to Vegas.
I know. I can't wait. All right. Before we go, we have our weekend watch list, which is what we are likely going to watch this weekend, and we think you should too. Number 1, obviously, For All Mankind drops today, season 2 on Apple TV Plus. The first episode will be available now, and you'll get 1 every single week.
And you can play with your AR.
In the meantime, play with
the
AR experience. This next one is something that was supposed to be. I had it written down on a previous script because I used it for scrap paper, and it completely got away from me.
Right.
HBO Max says The Head.
It's a movie.
It came out. It's a film. It came out February 4th. I completely forgot to add this to my list, but it looks so freaking cool.
Yeah, and you could watch it, especially if you're homebound because of snow this weekend. This one makes total sense to watch.
It makes total sense. So this takes place, I think, is it Antarctica?
Yeah.
Where
research center.
It's a research center where it's right at the end of summer, and so there's 6 months of just total darkness.
Yeah.
and then all hell breaks loose.
Right.
And then the spring or the sun basically rises again, and people come back because they lost communication with them, and there's all these dead bodies, and there's 2 survivors. And
what happened? It's super creepy.
It kind of, when I first saw it reminded me like 30 Days of Night, but without the vampires.
Right. You guys have to see the trailer. We've got it up in our show notes.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll throw it up on Facebook too. It looks really, really good.
It's fun.
I don't know how fun it is. It's creepy. It's going to be one of those edge of your seat kind of things.
Yeah.
It's very dark. It's very cold. It's very mysterious. And maybe you don't know who did it. I don't know.
Right.
Maybe it
was neither one of them. Maybe it was something supernatural. You get no clues whatsoever in the trailer, which I like.
To say.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we shall watch. You want to watch that this weekend?
That's why it's on our weekend watch list.
All right, let's do that. I like that. Cool. Wow. Well, this has been a good show. I mean, very excited about a lot of this stuff, aren't you?
There's a lot of good stuff coming out, especially with the superhero verse.
Yeah.
That
lots of superheroes.
March is going to be very busy. But that is our episode. Thank you for listening to the Binge Bum Podcast. Join us on Facebook. If you like our show, please rate us. If you don't, just don't listen to us anymore.
Or no, if you don't, send us an email and let us know what we can do to make it better. How about that?
That's the
but if you like it,
approach.
we need ratings. So give us some stuff, people.
All right. See you next week.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Binge Bum Podcast. For more about what you just heard, locate the show notes at bingebum.com.